The last two topics that we're going to talk about this week are subject headings and genre headings. Basically, these are used just to give your library patron a little bit more idea of what type of item they're working with when they see a catalog record for a video recording. Just like with print items, subject headings are used in the same way with video recordings to tell the user what your item is about. So for example, for the TV show Scrubs, physicians might be a possible topical subject heading that you would use. If you choose to use form subdivisions in your subject headings, and not all libraries do, but if you do, drama is the appropriate one to use for video recordings. Like I said, physicians was a topical subject heading, but you may also see geographical headings if your item is about a particular place, such as this one, Gangs of New York, is about 5 Points, New York, and it has quite a few subdivisions there, but you'll see it also uses the drama form subdivision. When it comes to a MARC record, topical subject headings go in a 650 field, and a geographical heading goes in a 651 field. You'll see that for both of these, the first indicator is blank. The second indicator is used to show what the source of the subject heading is, what thesaurus it came from, and in this case, for both of these, it's 0. That indicates that it's a Library of Congress subject heading, so that's probably what you'll see most often. The main subject heading goes in subfield A for both of these, and then the various types of subdivisions also get their own subfields. The form subdivision is in a subfield B, and both of these headings have that. A topical subdivision that just makes it more specific is in a subfield X, and a chronological subdivision that limits it to a particular time period that goes in subfield Y. Subject headings, like the series headings and the personal name and corporate name headings that we were looking at before, they also need to be looked up in the authority file to make sure you're using the authorized form. And when you choose search authorities, make sure to choose subject authority headings from the search type menu. Now when you get a list of results, you want to look for the one that is a Library of Congress subject heading. You'll see it's in the right-hand column. And you look at the red button, and what we're looking for are ones that say authorized. We want to look for the authorized heading. When you click on the red button, you'll get another link you can go to view the authority record. And the heading listed at the top is the authorized term to use. If you click on that, you'll view the MARC record. And for a topical subject heading, which is what this is, the correct term to use will be in the 150 field. Or if you choose to look at the labeled display for the authority record instead of the MARC display, it will be under topical subject heading in this case. Now genre headings, you'll probably see them used a little bit more frequently with video recordings than with, for example, print items. And they're a little bit different than subject headings. Basically, instead of telling you what the item is about, you can think of them as telling you what the item is. They sort of describe general categories of content that the item belongs to. For example, with the movie The Italian Job, one of the genre headings assigned to it is caper films. And with the TV show Scrubs, it could be assigned the genre heading of medical television programs. And again, just like with the subject headings, these do need to be looked up in the Library of Congress authority file. It's a little bit easier to do this if you have OCLC connection because there is a separate genre search, and it's a little bit confusing to search it with the Library of Congress Authority's website, but like I said, this is the free resource and so I like to include it, so I'm going to go through the process here. When you click on Search Authorities, once again choose Subject Authority headings from the search type menu. And the genre headings are going to be all mixed in with the subject headings, so it's important to know what to look for. Basically, let's do our search for caper films here, and in order to find out which one is the genre term, you want to look for the one that's not a Library of Congress subject heading. The genre terms are in their own thesaurus, so we have that second one down, says not applicable. That's the one we want. And when you click on that, you'll see a link to the authority record, just like we've seen before. And the heading is what we're looking for, caper films. And when you get to the MARC record, you'll see that the term is listed in a 155 field, and that's how you know it's a genre term and not a topical subject heading, because it's 155 versus a 150. So whatever is in the 155 field is what you want to use. Or under the label display, it will say genre/form term. And that is the authorized term that you want to use. So genre terms go in a 655 field in a catalog record. The first indicator is blank, just like with the 650 field. Now the second indicator is again used to show the source of a genre term. And in this case, it possibly won't be a Library of Congress subject heading because it is a Library of Congress genre form term, which is its own separate thesaurus. So we get a 7 in the second indicator, which tells us that it's a thesaurus other than the Library of Congress subject headings, and that the specific thesaurus is specified in subfield 2. So when you look at subfield 2, you'll see the abbreviation LCGFT. That stands for the Library of Congress genre form terms, and that is telling us that's where this term comes from. The abbreviation for this thesaurus can be found in a list on the Library of Congress website, the genre form code and term source code. So you don't have to memorize this abbreviation, but know where to find it. There are also other thesauri that you could use to choose genre terms. Probably the Library of Congress genre form terms are widely used, but there are other ones you could look for, and they have abbreviations in this list of terms also.